What up, everybody? It's your girl July from Kickback, Couture, and today I'm gonna show you what am I showing you how to do? I'm gonna show you how to I'm gonna show you a simple method that you can follow in order to get some ideas in the sequencer, get out of beat block. All right, so just follow these steps, do what I'm doing, and you should be gravy. All right, let's go. Alright, so just follow these steps and you should be golden. I'm going to create a new rack in my template because I know my template confuses a lot of you. So we'll just ignore everything I have here. First thing you want to do is create 5 ID8 devices. We're creating 5 ID8 devices because we want to go for simplicity and we don't want to start making too many decisions early on in the creation process. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is name these. So this bottom one right here is going to be your scale device. This next one, the fourth one, is going to be the bass. Just double click on that tape to rename it. This next one, we're going to name it ARP. The next one we're going to name keys 2. And then the first one is going to be just keys. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is go to the players. We're going to grab a scales and chords device or whatever device you prefer for your chords. I would stay basic as I was saying before for simplicity. And you're going to pick a scale. In this case, I'm going to go with a minor scale. And I suggest you go with a minor scale as well or a major scale. And next thing we're going to do here is we're going to come up with a chord progression. Now what you can do is use this chart that I have. Awesome. So this is the chart that we're going to use to come up with the chord progression. And I'll set it to E flat minor. So when I play the keys, it'll automatically go to E flat minor. Now these Roman numerals stand for a number in the scale. So for example, it says common chord progressions, minor keys, A minor, B minor, D minor, E minor, F sharp minor. So let's actually switch to one of those. Let's go with F sharp minor, which would be G flat. And let's choose one of these with 4 chords. So we got 1, 4, 5, 1, and that would sound like this. F sharp minor, 1. So that was this chord progression. Another one with 4, we could try 1 and 6. What's that? 6? F. Yep. 3. And then we got a 7. So I really like how that one sounds. I'll probably end up going with that one. Now the reason I'm choosing 4 chords is so that we have a symmetrical chord progression, meaning everything plays for the same duration of time. You can add rhythm and bounce to your chords, but that can make the process more difficult if you're just trying to get an idea out on the board, and you can always change it later and add more chords. And if you know chords and how to play the piano, feel free to do whatever you want, but this is systematic so that you can get an idea out. Alright, so I'm going to record those notes. So we're in F sharp minor and we played this one, so we're gonna go F sharp, D, A, E, and we can even go down to this E instead of up. So alright, cool. So I messed up the second half. Not a problem. We'll just take these first ones, duplicate them over, and we'll pull up the tool window. What I just did, let me explain that. I know y'all probably confused. I just deleted the extra notes. You're gonna hit Command A on a Mac, Control A on a Windows to select all of the notes and duplicate them over. Alright, and to duplicate, it's Command D or Control D on the Windows. And you can also select the notes, right click, and duplicate to get them over. whatever way works best for you. I prefer the key commands because I can do it in a split second. Now what I'm going to do is select all of them, Command A on a Mac, Control A on a Windows. Going to hit side by side so all the notes are playing for the same duration and they're connected to each other. Now basically this is legato adjustments, that's what it's called. So we're connecting every note to the next note. Nothing's going to overlap and there won't be any spaces between them. Excuse me. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go in here and start messing with the Scales and Chords player device. So let's add 4 notes. We're going to add a note so that it plays 4 notes instead of 3, and that's this knob here. 3 knobs would be a triad, and 4 notes would be what we call a 7th chord. So now we're playing 7 chords for our chord progression. Let's turn that metronome off. Now you can add inversions, you could turn this knob if you would like to. I actually prefer to keep it at 0, and we're going to add open chords. This spreads our chord out some more, so it'd be like this as an open chord, and it would be like this as a closed chord, so we're spreading everything out. Now to make this chord sound bigger, I'll add this octave up switch and this octave down switch. You can also add color tones to each chord. You may or may not like this. I'm going to keep it off. Now after you do that and you get your chords sounding how you want to, you're going to send them to the track. Awesome. Now I have my chords sent to the track. We can go ahead and close this. So I'm going to copy these notes up to the keys, which I typed incorrectly. And I'm going to copy them down to the bass. And actually, I'll show you a neat trick. If you select all of the bottom notes in your clip, which for me looks like this, and you right click, you can go to duplicate selected notes to a new lane, and now you'll have a new clip for those notes. And this is the bass here. So what we're going to do is go to this device in the sequencer, and the rack I mean, just by double clicking that image in the sequencer, and we'll see our bass here. Right now it's set to piano, so let's go ahead and change that to bass, and we're just going to restrict ourselves to what's available here. So I'm just going to go with this first one, just so I don't have to make a lot of decisions. Keep it real simple, and let's select these notes. And if we listen to them now, they'll be too high in pitch. They're also doing that weird slide down thing, which we don't want. So to fix that, we're going to select all of these notes, Command A on a Mac, Control A on a Windows, and bring down the velocity. Also going to drop them down an octave or 2. So this is 1 octave so far. To drop it down an octave, I'm holding down Command and Shift. And then you press the down key, or the down arrow. Alright, if we want to go down another octave, I think that's a bit low for this bass, so we'll stick with this bass. This octave. Gonna bring down this mod wheel a bit to filter out those keys some. Or add some of the, I'm bringing it down to add some of those tones back into it, Dope. Now what I'm going to do is take these piano keys again, and I'm going to copy them down to the ARP here. And now what we're going to do is add an ARP. So there's a few ways you could do this. You can add the arpeggiate, you can add dual arpeggio. since I'm in Reason 11, I'm going to add dual arpeggio. Another thing you might be interested in doing is doing a quad note generator. If you know how to use those devices, more power to you. To keep this simple, I'm going to use the dual arpeggio. And we're just going to drag that right above that ID8. And we'll go with the preset. For the sake of time, if you know how to use the dual arpeggio, great. Otherwise, a preset will do just fine for you starting off. Let's turn this bass down. Alright, cool. So I like that. I grabbed the Chip It preset and brought the rate down a bit. So I'm just going to come in here, select all of these notes, and bring them up an octave, holding down Command Shift and then pressing the up arrow on my keypad. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now what we're going to do is grab these keys up top, jump back into the sequencer, and we're going to strum these keys. Now, you can use a player device if you prefer to use a player device to strum them. Otherwise, you could do it manually like I'm going to do. I'm going to select the top 4 notes in each chord. You can select the top 5 or however many notes you have in your chord if you prefer, but I'm only going to do the top 4 and keep these bass notes where they are. So let's go ahead and move the position slightly. After the top 4, we'll grab the top 3 notes. Move those. Top 2 notes. And move these. Then we'll grab that top note. And move those. Now for this ARP sound, we're going to switch it to the vibes so that we don't have too much overlapping with the keys, just so we could distinguish the difference between the two. So now we have a nice musical idea going. So for this last keys device, it's completely up to you what you want to do to it. It's there so that you can create your own melody, or you can keep working generatively and make melodies that way, or, you know, add to the musical piece that we already have. So what I want to do here, I'm going to go to players and I'll go to quad note generator and drag that above it, and I'll put that in the wrong place. We have the quad note generator, and I initialized the patch just by right clicking and hitting reset device. I'm going to put it on sequencer so that it plays and stops as I hit play and I stop it. The next thing I want to do here is set the key. So it's F sharp minor, as we decided at the beginning of the video. And we also have some different parameters we can edit here. So gonna bring the octave up. And I like how this one's playing, so let's go ahead and add another layer to this generator. And let's change this to 1/4. Now we'll go back to this top line and let's add some variation. I'm just gonna bring the pitch vary up some more, so it's not repeating the same note as much. Adding a third line. Put this one on shuffle, add the pitch variation to this as well, and change the pattern. Let's turn these top ones off for a sec. Just playing with the knobs here. This is the most creative part of the process, using whatever player of your choice and, you know, tweaking it till you get something you're happy with. Let's hear what this sounds like. Alright, the next part is going to be the fun part and maybe the most terrible part if you have beat block. But we're just going to switch these sounds out and I will go with something basic to continue this. Alright, so that's how you get a basic melodic idea started in Reason with the help of generative players. And this is a systematic approach that I use all the time if I have beat block. And it just helps me get, you know, something out in the sequencer, something painted, something on the canvas, if you know what I'm trying to say, if you're scooting where I'm trying to sit, you know what I'm saying? I know that probably make no sense, but you get it, hopefully. Definitely let me know what you would like to see next. It's all Culture, Kickback, Cookup. Follow me on Instagram, and if you like this video, check out the video I did on the quad note generator, and you'll get some more creative ideas for when you have beat block. Yeah.